What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's happening? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Yes, man. We in the aftermath of the NBA season. We still gonna listen, man. I want people to know this. All right. For those of y'all before y'all come in here and everything, but for those of y'all that are still here, listen, man, we still popping, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna stop. We still gonna be pumping out content. There's still plenty to talk about. Still sports going on. Okay, we ain't nothing. What's up with it? The beautiful brown sugar in the building, the queen up in here. Okay, it's not gonna stop here. Everybody want to be like, oh man, you know, NBA season's over with. Everybody all down and depressed, man. That just shows that you closed-minded. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I talk about anything. I talk about car life, you know what I'm saying? Home life, you know what I'm saying? Shit, don't let me get started on the other sports that's going on. We can talk about World Cup, baseball, you know what I'm saying? You name it, we're gonna talk about it. Boxing, always gonna be in effect, you know what I'm saying? We could talk about victory, you know, that Tank just got off of, you know, people comparing him to some of the greats that's going on, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop always gonna keep going, you know what I'm saying? It don't stop, man. Don't get all depressed. Besides that, it's still NBA business to be taken care of. What's gonna happen in the off season? If Bronny's gonna get drafted, you know what I'm saying? Where's LeBron gonna go? You know what I'm saying? If you want to, for those of y'all that want to continuously talk about LeBron 24/7, 365, you know what I'm saying? You can always talk about history going on with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I can't even put no female because you don't know how to talk. You sit there with your phone all day at the dinner table or whatever, ain't got no self-confidence to look her in the eye or whatever. And some of y'all females do the same thing. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all attraction level probably ain't even. Come on, man. We diversified on this channel. You know what I'm saying? We don't stop, man. Just because the NBA season over with now, man. That's not how I rock. Oh, nigga want to go to sleep. Nigga want to hide. Then when the season come around, you know what I'm saying? Then the niggas be worried about, oh, when are the playoffs going to get hit? Man, it's just, nah, man. Come on, man. That's not how we do life here. You feel me? Basketball community as well as boxing community as well. And shout out to all of my subs that's been stepping with me and toes down from day one, and all of my new subs too as well. Listen, player, man. I respect him off the court too for what he does. I like the fact that even although he gets criticized, he's still able to still perform and do his due diligence on the floor. But it backfired on him. And we got it, like I said, on this, no matter what. I don't care if I like you as a player. I don't consider the GOAT. Giannis, man, did a terrible thing. What he tried to do is he tried to take a page out of LeBron James' book, okay? But it backfired. He tried to snake him. He tried to do everything that he could to get Jrue Holiday out of a Bucks uniform and try to get something better. But instead, you ended up getting a guy in Dame Lillard who doesn't belong in the top 75. Okay, he can't play any defense. Okay, he doesn't know how to utilize the. He can't. If you put Dame at the top of the key in a pick and roll situation, you pretty much you're guaranteed to get plenty points out on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Especially on a pick and pop or on a pick and roll. Basically what I'm saying, he can't guard a pick and roll. Okay, even Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, even them being shorter players or whatnot, even though Joe Dumars was 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", whatever, but they're still considered little men to guard the pick and roll better than Dame Lillard could. And on top of that, you got a guy who is very inefficient. Now they criticize Jrue Holiday. Okay, Jrue Holiday, when he was in the Bucks uniform, okay, he averaged 17.8 points per game. Okay, now he shot 40%, which is very low, and he shot 26.8% from three. And the biggest criticism that he got was, the collapse that happened against the Miami Heat and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go there. It happens to everybody. Okay, it happens to everybody. But what you should have did, Giannis, is you should have galvanized him. What did you say? You said Klay Thompson to San Antonio would be even better. Come on, man. Now you're talking about you want Klay. See, now y'all talking about y'all want Klay Thompson. Before it was like, oh, Klay is done. He need to retire and all this other stuff. Now you want him in San Antonio. Now you want him in Orlando. Now you want him here. You want him there. Nah, keep that same energy for Klay. See, I told y'all, even though Klay Thompson, you know what I'm saying, he hurt and all this other stuff. Oh, y'all ready to get his hands on? You know why? Because you're gonna take a 4-time champion to Jrue Holiday. What people don't realize, okay, about Jrue Holiday in the playoffs, in the motherfucking playoffs, okay? Excuse my language. In the playoffs, he was a +4. He was a +4. He wasn't a negative. That means that he benefited being on the floor. So why would you let a guy like that go? You're talking about one of the supremely gifted all defenders in the league, and you're going to get rid of him. Listen, if we're going to go there, man, you know what I'm saying? Plenty of defensive players that got 8 and alive, and they got their lunch. They got it handed to them. Okay? It happens. It happens. But what you should have did, Giannis, is you should have stuck by Jrue Holiday. But it didn't matter. Guess what? You got boomeranged. You know what I'm saying? You got boomerang. You got Eddie Murphy. Like Brown Sugar would do if a nigga tried to even test her on some BS. Like just slap him. Like Halle Berry did Eddie Murphy. And that's what happened to your ass, Giannis. You got Halle Berry slapped. Okay? All of y'all did. All of y'all. Instead, you want to sit up there, y'all, and we could talk about Adrian Griffin too. Y'all were dumb for getting rid of Adrian Griffin. You know what I'm saying? They're not taking anything away from Doc Rivers, even though I don't feel like he should be coaching or whatever. But thing about it is, y'all should have just left things the way they was. You had Bobby Portis up in there crying. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, get rid of Adrian Griffin. Nah, stick that shit out. Go ahead, keep on running with it because y'all. I'm still. JMJ, what's up with it, bro? Offensive. I'm not getting rid of 17.8 points per game. Now, if Jrue Holiday was playing like a Tobias Harris, who's a roller coaster, who I would rather get rid of and bring in the Klay Thompson, yes, I said it. I want Klay Thompson. I would rather have Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, or Paul George, who have all had injury history. I would rather have them than Tobias Harris because at least I know they're going to be somewhat consistent. The only thing you got to worry about is injuries with them. I know I might seem like I'm straddling the fence a little bit, but I'm just giving a comparison. Would I rather have somebody younger, a younger swing man, like an OG, another boy, or like a Pascal Siakam, somebody that's younger, durable, ain't got to worry about injuries too much. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'd rather have a guy like RJ Barrett. You know, to need somebody that's reliable. right? So getting back to my point, and I'm not trying to tap dance all over the place, but the thing about it is, I would rather have Jrue Holiday on my roster than to have a Tobias Harris, because at least I know that when all else fails, guess what? If your offense ain't going, guess what? You got a guy like Jrue Holiday that can pop up with 28 points every now and again, can catch fire every now and again. Don't forget, he was a scorer coming into the NBA. I think people forget that he is a two-time All-Star. Okay, but he just had to do what was necessary to stay in the league. It happened to a lot of players. My prime example of somebody like a Jrue Holiday that had to kind of make his transition into a defensive player was Deshaun Stevenson. Now, I'm not putting Deshaun Stevenson on Jrue Holiday level, even though he got a ring. But Deshaun Stevenson, you got to remember him coming out of high school. He came straight from high school, and he was a scorer. Deshaun Stevenson was that guy coming out of high school. You said, what's up with it, Alex? I see you in the building. You said Klay Thompson 17 points for 35% for three. Yeah, and by Klay Thompson standard, that's not good. But a prime Klay was good for for around 40%. Sometimes even higher than that. Sometimes Klay was shooting damn near 50% and everything. And then you said the 76ers had gave up on Jrue Holiday too early. Well, during that time, we had to understand this, okay? During that time, they were trying to do, they were trying to trust the process and do all of that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, they really couldn't make up their mind on what they were predicated on doing. The Sixers organization was really being all over the place. They went from, Vogel to Brett Brown, you know what I'm saying, then Doc Rivers, and now Nick Nurse or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then they had all these different players they were running through. We kept having to start over, new personnel, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I really wish that they would have stuck with Jrue Holiday. But, he was able to go to New Orleans, make his presence felt and everything, and the rest is history. And that's all from just staying, continue to stay with the grind. You said, hey, Straight, I know about this last night, what Holiday did. Giannis feels stupid. Now he do. I know he do, and that's what we're talking about right now. Listen, man, Giannis, I like Giannis as a player, man. I think people got to understand that. Giannis is, amongst my favorite players and everything, but we got to call it spade a spade. And, the homies been talking about it throughout the LDBC. They've been talking about it, and I'm not going to lie. I try not to look at it that way. But it's the truth. And it came back to bite Giannis in the ass. And guess what? Jrue Holiday got more rings than Giannis now. You could call him Robert Horry. You could call him whatever you want to. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, he got rings. A lot of guys want that chip. You said Giannis starting the stat pad, chasing triple doubles. Yeah, instead of playing his game. He want to sit up there. He want to do this. He want to do that. Now, when he was filling up the stat sheet, that was because he was actually doing it because he truly was trying to do his thing out there in terms of playing both ends of the floor. And he just so happened to get a rebound. He just so happened to get blocks. He just so happened to get steals. He just so happened to get assists. He just so happened to score. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was like, oh, yeah, trying to, be out there, be point guard, be trying to facilitate, make sure he get his 10 assists, trying to make sure, you know what I'm saying, he get 10 rebounds, then go ahead and, nah, it wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with you on that. You said, I know Greg Popovich should give Derek White his props. Well, the thing about it is actually – They wanted Derek White to be in a better situation. Derek White was going to be in a good. You got to understand at that time, because what's his name came from San Antonio at that time, Ime Udoka. So you got to understand when he came from Boston or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They knew he had a relationship with San Antonio and everything. So he wanted Derek White to be in a winning situation. Derek White was that guy. Regardless, I know, everybody want to get on the hairline thing and all that funny looking stuff and all that other stuff, but the dude can hoop, man. The dude can hoop, regardless of what you want to say. You say Giannis buying into the flashy bag talk, man. Listen, that's just like I had to tell some of these fellas on the live one time talking about Giannis don't have no bag. Hey, listen, I don't like you talk about a bag or whatever, but a bag. There's a lot of players that had bags, but where did it end? Where did they end up? A lot. Charles Barkley had a bag, but he ain't getting no championships because of it. Karl Malone might have had a bag. He ain't getting no championship because of it. You know what I'm saying? Giannis got a ring or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, but that don't take away the fact of what he did and what he was doing in terms of him snaking people. And what he did right here, man, he was being a snake. How he did Jrue Holiday was wrong. I know Marcus Smart looking crazy right now. Straight. Well, I mean, Marcus Smart, listen, he did everything that he could in Boston. I give Marcus Smart his credit. He did everything that he could while he was in Boston. They just parted ways. KP got his payback. Yeah, now that's the biggest payback. All of these storylines, a lot of these storylines, man, they kind of ended in the other guy's favor. Like KP versus Luka in Dallas or whatever, that ended in KP's favor. When it comes to unfortunately with Kyrie, it didn't end so well. What's up, Angelo Bell? I see you in the building. You said the Celtics had the weakest finals run ever. Well, I mean, you could say that, but at the same time, 20 years down the line, like I told you, a lot of people were um, uh, the Celtics. But also, you sitting there saying that, Angelo Bell, we can't say that it was weak because guess what? Porzingis wasn't 100%. They were actually on even playing field, if you really want to be honest. Lively wasn't 100%, and they didn't have Porzingis. They didn't have a healthy Porzingis like that. They had Porzingis like, a game, but let's just be honest. Porzingis wasn't, with the exception of that one, maybe that one game, Porzingis wasn't, he wasn't as big of a factor as some of the other guys. You said Black Celtics players and fans went straight home to celebrate. So all this like, yeah, it was a weak run and all this other stuff. They say that stuff about Chicago Bulls. Believe it or not, they'll say, Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan's team, they'll say some silly shit like, oh yeah, who did they play and all this other stuff. But if you really break it down, in essence, they really did. They played some tough teams. What's up, Ashley? I see you in here, Queen. I hope you're doing good, beautiful. You said I'm mad. The Celtics passed us. Everybody is, including Magic Johnson. But now that just goes to show you that the organization, the Lakers organization, they got to get on their A game. The front office, they got to get on their A game. Like you look at JJ, you got JJ Redick and you got Joe Mazzulla. I ain't gonna lie, I was critical of Joe Mazzulla, but he outcoached Jason Kidd. You don't see Joe Mazzulla holding grudges or putting players off, or they might have had some disagreements and stuff like that. But Joe Mazzulla, he stuck by his players. He showed that he's a better coach than Jason Kidd right now. You know what I'm saying? You said I feel bad for Hardaway Jr. I mean, as bad as I feel for Hardaway Jr., man, he a grown man. He gonna have to go ahead and make his other moves, man. He gonna have to go ahead and get up out of Dallas and get in a better situation. If I was Tim Hardaway Jr., I'll go back. I'll go back to New York. I know he had the only he left New York and with a kind of a bad taste in his mouth. But go back to New York. Phil ain't there no more, and neither is Derek Fisher. So you ain't got to worry about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have people there that's gonna be taunting you and talking about what happened in the past and all that other stuff or whatever. You know. But I would go back to New York, get back in that situation. Ted was talking about it earlier about the key pieces that they need. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a good piece. But yeah, Giannis, man, and listen, Giannis may never, let's just be real. With Dame Lillard on the squad, I don't see them winning. I don't see Giannis and Dame winning together. You know what I'm saying? Dame doesn't have a winning mindset. He doesn't have a winning mindset. You know what I'm saying? Giannis, he's got to work on his leadership. He displayed poor leadership not only by not being vocal and really, getting at his players like he's supposed to and really taking charge like he's supposed to, but also he showed poor leadership by, getting mad at your teammates and snaking Jrue Holiday and getting rid of him, but it only backfired on you in the end. Well, he never was a good free throw shooter. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things that was killing him. You know what I'm saying? And as much as we want him to work on his shot and everything like that, that's the one thing that he could actually improve on to kind of give him. Okay, like as a shooter, a free throw can be very important because it can open up. It can open up the basket a little bit, so to speak. Like it could get you in a little bit of a groove. A lot of the players used to get in their groove at the free throw line because you see the ball going in. Sometimes Kobe, in order to get himself going, if he was having a terrible game where he missed like the first 7 shots or something like that, he would try to get it at the line and get himself in the groove. You said I hit Boston repeat. You say Giannis, bro, is wasting. Oh. Yeah, a lot of people have said that, man. Yeah. Now we on kind of the Bronny James type of feel. Yeah, you only in here because your brother in here. Because your last name is Antetokounmpo. Fact, Dame don't have that winning mindset. He just wants to put up numbers. And you said you think Boston will repeat. We'll just have to see, man. If they can repeat, then we don't have to worry about all that stuff about this being a week. The weakest journey to the finals and all this other stuff. If they can do it with guys that are healthy on the team and stuff like that, and they repeat again, then what you gonna say? So they got an opportunity to come back. Now they listen, Matt, Angelo, Brown Sugar, Ted, Ashley, everybody up in here. Now they got a taste of what winning feels like. They got that taste in their mouth now. So now it's like, okay, now they're gonna be hungry for more. Just kind of like how Denver started off up until they ran up, unfortunately, against Minnesota. You said if LeBron goes back east, look out. Look out for what? Look out for what? Ain't nobody sweating him like that no more. Ain't nobody even. Everybody talking about where he gonna go and all this other stuff. People ready for you to go home. And people ready for you to go home and go sit down, man. You said LeBron could go back to the finals. Man, he ain't going back to no finals. What, the final play-in spot? That's the only way you going. You ain't going nowhere else, man. You know, you got to cater everything for him. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure, you know, man, I got to make sure that my hair right. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that people are in the right position and all this other stuff. Nah, man, can we just play the damn game? What happened to, okay, you see everybody, you see how the ball moves in Boston? That ain't going to happen with on the LeBron James team. That ain't going to happen. The ball ain't going to move. Look at how Boston, look at how Boston ball movement is. Look at how deep they is. Look at how you got multiple guys on there. You know, look at a Denver. You know what I'm saying? Even though they not up in there. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Minnesota. Look at how they share the ball. You said Brian needs to press the button and retire. I wouldn't continue to stress my body. Nothing left to prove. Exactly. Well, you know, look, man. I'm not tripping on the fact about you know, him being 40 years old and all that stuff. But you know, at the same token, it's like you gotta understand this. You gotta understand this. They have to market other players. If you're 40 years old, you gotta learn how to you know what I'm saying, scale back. The greats have done it. Like with George Gervin, he knew how to scale back. He knew Michael Jordan was the best on Chicago, but he ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, I still got it or whatever. He gotta understand that Anthony Davis is better than him right now. He's better. He had a better season. I know people gonna sit up there and trip out. Oh, he ain't better than LeBron. You don't know that unless you truly give him the keys. But it's like you don't want to give him the keys. You know what I'm saying? You said LeBron and Bronny on the Sixers, man. Hell nah. And Nick Nurse want to win. Nick Nurse ain't about just making it to the playoffs. Nick Nurse want to win. Nick Nurse don't won a championship before. They don't, you know, like they're not about winning. He trying to fulfill some journey, and his son don't even want to fulfill this type of goal that he has playing with him and everything. You need to quit worrying about it. I know people talk about history. Oh, the father and son have never done this before. Yeah, that's all great, but what about the people that want to win championship? What about these guys that are trying to play? You sitting up in there worried about playing with your son and all this other stuff. Your son said he ain't even concerned about none of that. And I know some people gonna get mad. They gonna get oh man, well, you're being insensitive and all this other. It ain't about being insensitive, but it don't take a listen. You got to understand the organizations that you've ruined. You got to understand that. You 40 years old or whatever. Okay, at this stage of your life, man, you need to be a teacher. You need to be a mentor. You said Jeannie sold out. Man, Jeannie needs to go, man. Jeannie, you know, and you know what? She's the mole in my opinion. It's not, you know, besides LeBron, her and Rob Pelinka are the moles. They doing the same thing every year. Right now, if LeBron is smart, did you see Kareem doing all this stuff or whatever at his elder age? No, Kareem was worried about winning championship. You said Jerry West with death and the Celtics title win wake up call. Yeah, exactly. That's facts, man. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you gotta think about it. Bill Walton too. You gotta think about Bill Walton too, man. You know, like they got a lot of stuff to address. Everybody talking about blow the whole thing up. I agree with that. I think the brother Kareem was talking about that earlier, or in one of his videos. Yeah, you should blow the whole thing up. Like, go ahead, get you some younger players, get them up out of there. This circus show is not going nowhere. You got JJ ready. Watch, I guarantee you, everybody up in there is already got these expectations of JJ Redick that he's so smart and all this other stuff. But then if it don't work out, y'all know how y'all Lakers fans are, Ted. By All-Star break, y'all probably gonna be. Let's say y'all by All-Star break, y'all are at let's say y'all are at like 20. I would say like let's say y'all 12 and 20. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta talk about half the season or whatever. But let's say by like a few games, man, y'all sitting at like eight, 8-16 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be ready to get ready. JJ ready. Al Horford winning the championship. Yeah, man, I think it's great. I think that, like I said, I was saying this earlier, JMJ. I think he should go into the media. Al Horford, man. Al Horford, one of them guys, man. You know what I'm saying? He could actually have his own show, man. Yeah, man. Like, watch, everybody gonna be up in there. They're gonna be like, oh. But before you have some clowns out there thinking that JJ Redick is actually fit for this job. You actually have people out there thinking that JJ Redick can coach. Man, if he don't win the game, then LeBron ain't even gonna want to do no podcast with him no more. LeBron ain't, man. Then they gonna be on. He gonna be JJ Redick gonna be on the set by himself. Uh, well, hey guys, LeBron had to do something and all this other stuff, man. You gonna see LeBron not even barely talking to JJ, man. He gonna be mad, pissed off because he ain't being able to get what he want to, or he thought that things was gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, wait a minute, this ain't what I ordered. This ain't what I ordered. Yeah, man. Like I mean, listen, I could go, hey Ted, Brown Sugar, Angelo, everybody up in here, right? And JMJ, everybody that's up in here, right? I could sit up here and draw up a play. I could be like, yeah, hey, what you're gonna do, Brown Sugar, is you're gonna cut. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hit JMJ with a screen. JMJ, you're gonna flash out. You're gonna hit. This guy. I could draw up a play and everything, but if I get out there and it don't work because I got players that don't know how to execute it. I've never really went through the play. I got 1 year. I only got, dog. You can't do all this stuff in 1 year. You got to be crazy. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, y'all. You got to be crazy to think that all of that stuff is going to take place in just 1 year. Like, You need a couple of seasons up under your belt. You've never experienced the bad side of coaching, the good side of coaching. You haven't. Yeah, you got criticized as a player, but actually, believe it or not, man, coaches take a lot more harsh criticism too, because especially if you're in a magnified place like LA, like the microscope, it's going to be pinpointed on you. And then on top of that, it's such a players' league now that all the fingers are going to be pointed in your direction. That's what we got to look at it like. You know what I'm saying? So if you mess up, they going to be like, oh, well, this was a bad idea to begin with. You got to think about it. There was some people that was up in there blaming Eric Spoelstra when Miami wasn't working out like that in the beginning or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You had actually people thinking that it was Eric Spoelstra's fault. You know what I'm saying? Now, people did blame, a fair share of people did blame LeBron, a fair share of people did blame Chris Bosh, a fair share of people did blame D-Wade, but there was a fair share of people that was blaming Eric Spoelstra. Well, what you think gonna happen while you in LA? Well, first off, you ain't got no coaching experience. Second off, you know what I'm saying? You didn't have to work hard to get this job or whatever. You just happened to just be at the right place at the right time. And then on top of that, hold on. Yeah, 5 games in. Yeah, he was fired 5 games in, man. That's ridiculous, especially after going to the finals. And this isn't doing anything but making it. He about to play for yet another coach. Rudy T didn't last in LA. Nah, not at all. He said, "Let me get up out of here." He's like, "Man, I miss being in H Town." You know what I'm saying? H Town is a little bit more laid back. Yeah, he was like, "Man, I miss Clutch City."